Welcome to Refuse to Lose. My name is Joe Jordan. I am your host today. Before we get into our great sports topic we're going to go over, please like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel and enjoy the rest of the show.
I refuse to lose. I'd rather get these weak dudes the blues and separate them from their Jews. Teach them don'ts and do's. I raise tools, make crews, make decisions confused.
What a great game Monday night. First Monday night game in the NFL season 2021. Baltimore Ravens versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The new Las Vegas Raiders in a new stadium. It was very electric. I wasn't there personally, but just watching it from my TV, you can just tell the environment was crazy. And that was one of the craziest opening Monday night games I've ever seen. On my last live video, so by the way, I do a live debate every week on my Instagram. You can check the description for my Instagram link so you can follow me so you can check the next one, which will be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Now, I said on my last live that Derek Carr is underrated. Derek Carr is underrated. He had a slow start. If you look at my Twitter feed, I was saying, he's making a lot of bad throws, especially to Waller. Waller had a lot of targets, but they were not good balls thrown to him by Derek Carr. Now, he did have two that were good throws. One of them he dropped, and one of them it was a bomb. He dropped it, but it wasn't an easy catch. But when your QB is struggling, you as a star player on the team, you have to make a play for your QB to give him some confidence. But Derek Carr kept throwing the ball to Waller, and then Waller ended up making plays. And then once Derek Carr gained momentum, the Ravens defense could not stop the Raiders. And if you watch that game, the Raiders could have scored a lot more points, but they killed themselves. They shot themselves in the foot. Every time they were gaining momentum, they were penalized for something. It could be holding, a false start, hands in the face, something that will push them back while they're trying to go forward. It was one drive when they were deep in their own territory. John Gruden calls a great play for Waller because the first play, Waller drops it. The second play, Waller catches it, gains a first down, and I believe it was a holding penalty. And then after that, it was a false start, and then they settled for a run, and then they end up punting the ball, and the crowd started booing. But it was a boat. Was it? Matter of fact, I think it was pass interference or holding on one of the receivers, but it was a bogus call. My point is, Derek Carr played a great game. Threw over 400 yards. I know he threw the ball about 56 times, I believe. And he played a good game. Now, Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, he had a rough day, accuracy-wise. There's a lot of passes he thrown that wasn't on target with his target. And I believe that Lamar Jackson should have used his legs a little bit more. See, the problem with these running quarterbacks, they have the ability to make defenses miss with their legs, to get easy first downs with their legs. But when we hear the crowd talking, hey, you're not accurate, you got to be more of a passer, and then we want to drop back more and try to be an accurate passer. That's what happened with RG3. Now, I believe Lamar Jackson should have used his legs a little bit more. It was one play he had an opportunity to use his legs, but instead he threw. It was a wide open pass. He threw on the right side of the field. It was a bad throw. It was on third down, and he did not convert. But he also had a wide open lane to the right or to the left. I think both sides were open, but instead he set up for the pass, a short pass. It was a bad throw, drop. No third down conversion. So the Baltimore Ravens also had a lot of opportunity to score. That's the thing about this first week of the NFL. You're going to have a lot of rust, a lot of opportunities that people could have capitalized on that they didn't. And that happened in almost every game I've seen that was close. But the overall game itself was an awesome game. It was an awesome game. I'm glad I witnessed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the game also. But my takeaway from this whole game is that I know that the Ravens had a lot of injuries at the running back position. And, I talking to people on social media and we're saying things like, They had a lot of injuries. It's gonna be tough for them to run the ball. Listen, when you have a good offensive line, when you have a great running system, when you've been the number one rushing team the last 2 years, and you still have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, you can put any NFL running back in the backfield behind Lamar Jackson, and they can have a good game. Because if you look at the Ravens, even with the injuries they had, they still had 189 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson had 86. Williams had 65, and Murray had 28. But Williams only had 9 rushes. He averaged 7.2 yards per carry. Now Murray had 10 rushes, averaged 2.8 yards per carry. But they just signed Murray off the street. So even with their running back situation, they still had almost 200 rushing yards. So they're going to be fine on the run game as long as they have Lamar Jackson in their offensive line. Now, what Lamar Jackson can't pick up is stop dinking and dunking. Stop throwing these short passes. He did have one pass for 49 yards, but outside of that, it was a lot of dinking and dunking. But so the thing is, Lamar Jackson needed to prove his accuracy. Well, I think that Lamar Jackson will have a MVP type season this year. They play Kansas City next year. I believe they will lose that game. They will start off 0-2, but they will bounce back from both of those losses, and I still think they will win this tough division that they're in, believe it or not. And the Raiders, now, although the Raiders, they are in the same division as the Chiefs, they will not make the playoffs, in my opinion. But they will have a electrifying offense. They will be hard to stop on offense. Trust me. Derek Carr, he's not a top 5 quarterback. But I think Derek Carr is better than people like Tannehill. I think he's better than I think he's better than a lot of people. I looked at Pro Football Focus. They have him as a 13th best quarterback. And I have him in front of a lot of quarterbacks that most people probably won't agree with, but Derek Carr is underrated. He's definitely underrated. So I'm looking at this list. I would put Derek Carr in front of Matt Ryan. I will put Derek Carr in front of Baker Mayfield. See, Baker Mayfield, he's not a bad quarterback, but he's also not a great one either. He has a lot of weapons around him. He has a great running attack around him. He has a great offensive line and a great defense. While the Raiders have one of the worst defense in the last few years, especially last year. So there's a lot of pressure on Derek Carr, and he don't have a lot of weapons. Now, he does have Waller, right, and things like that, one of the best tight ends in the league who don't get talked about. But Derek Carr, I would take him over Baker Mayfield. I would take him over Matt Ryan. I would take him over Ryan Tannehill. So these some guys that Pro Football Focus have above him. And I would take him above those guys. So you could say he's probably the 11th best quarterback in the league right now. So, and I mean Justin Herbert, they got him 15th, but Justin Herbert, I'll put him before Derek Carr right now. But Derek Carr is legit, guys. So it was a great game today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And let's enjoy our next Monday night game. Talk to y'all soon.